It's been another little while, so this video is going to be a little looser, a little more free-flowing. I usually, just a behind the scenes, when I do a video, I do a lot of research and I have my own little teleprompter usually and stuff. Today, I just have a couple of notes on my phone and that's what we're doing. So, the last couple of years have been basura. They've been trash. And this last year, for some reason, I have felt it even more than the other years. And I decided that this year, we're gonna start to turn it around. We're gonna start having a better positive attitude, because if we don't do it, it's not gonna get done. Even though we're in the middle of January, by the time I get this video up, we're still doing January, New Year, New Me resolution. But I don't have any that are that lame, because everyone has the same ones. Stop drinking so much, stop partying so much, stop doing so many drugs, get thinner, get prettier, etc, etc, etc. The only one actually worth doing is getting richer, but if you guys can figure out how to do that, let me know. Leave me a comment down below, because I have no idea. Anyway, however, I have 5 things that I want us to do this new year. 2024, for real, is gonna be our year. Our year to do all the great stuff we wanted, to live up to that expectation. If you stumble and fall, that's fine. It happens to everybody. But this year, this gosh dang year, is going to get better. And it's funny because I feel there's always like a motivational speech for other communities. I don't know if there's any motivational speeches in our community. Latin Hispanics, this is your motivational speech for the year. 2024 motivational speech. I don't know how to say speech in Spanish. Es speech. I am a no sabo kid today. Anyway, 5 of them, we're gonna go through it. And if you guys have anything you wanna add to this list, if you have your own resolutions you wanna do, if there's something you wanna achieve and you wanna write it down and we will hold each other accountable, do it. Number 5 resolution is I'm going to call Delulu 2024. And I'm phrasing it Delulu 2024 because it seems like a lot of the rich, successful people you know had this delusion that they were going to be rich and successful and famous and achieve all their dreams. And I think that's what's lacking with us. We have to believe in ourselves. We have to dilute ourselves into us being successful, into us being rich, into us being all that we could be. The awesomeness that we pretend to be on Instagram, we're gonna be in real life. We're gonna dilute ourselves into all of this. If this delusion to you is like, I'm gonna dilute myself into, I'm gonna be thinner this year, delusions away. I'm gonna be rich this year, let's go. Delulu 2024. We're gonna be delusional and manifest all the great things we want for this year. For a couple of my friends that I talk to on Instagram, we keep making fun of like, oh, we wanna be rich, we wanna travel. We're gonna make this happen. We are going to achieve our dreams. If you're like, oh, I can't do it, no. You are gonna do it. We're all gonna do it. This year, 2024, is gonna be our best year ever. I don't know about 2025, but 2024, we're gonna make it happen. Number 4, run for office. Like I said at the beginning of this video, if we wait around for someone else to make our lives better, for something to happen outside of us to make it better, it's never gonna happen. We're never gonna make it better ever. I don't know about you guys, but I am very tired and frustrated in our current hellscape that we live in that just seems to get worse and worse in government, in the way things are run, and how things should be handled, and what we should do collectively. It seems like there's a huge disconnect to what Vox Populi wants, everybody, versus what they actually do in levels of government, in leadership. And I am so tired of people saying, we'll vote and voting will get it done, when we have seen clearly that's not how to get it done. Voting has sort of kept us out of big trouble, but for like the big change that we want, that we're waiting for, it's not gonna get it done. And I think for the biggest reason that my mom always points out every single election cycle, no hay ningún buen gallo. There is no one good to vote for. You're always with the choice of like who's least bad. We need someone who is actually good. And in order for us to get someone that is actually good, I need more people to run for office. According to the demographics, there is a huge number of younger people, younger millennials and older Gen Z, who are eligible to run for office. And I'm talking about office locally, in your community, citywide, citywide, countywide, statewide, nationally. There's like all these layers of government that you could actually go in and affect. We always complain about they're doing nothing about student loans. You want something to happen with student loans? Run for office. There's nothing happening with the climate. You want the climate thing to get better? Run for office. There's nothing happening with healthcare, with mental health care, with the homeless problem, with helping veterans get off the streets, with the housing crisis. I could go on and on and on, and we could sit here and complain about it, or you could run for office. And the only folks I really, truly, I am begging you to run for office are the firstborn Latinas in families. You all are notorious, are famous for carrying the entire weight of your family on your shoulders, for getting everybody through it, for being the one who works and maintains everybody, for doing everything. Y'all are like Atlas, carrying the entire world on your shoulders, but you get it done. And you never complain, but you get it done. This is who I need to run for office for real. Like, firstborn Latinas, you know what we need as a community. You know how to affect things better. You know how things run. You're very observant, and you know how to go and get it done. Who is better at negotiating than firstborn Latinas? Because look at who they had to deal with their entire lives. Immigrant parents. I'm not a firstborn, and I have benefited so much from having a firstborn Latina sister. I could sit back and sit pretty because she did all the work for me. And that's what I need you guys to do for that. And I know there's a lot of firstborn Latinas who are like, really? Another thing? Yes, really another thing. Once you guys get in there and really fix it and turn it around, then you could kick back and enjoy all the fruits of your labor. But for now, I need you to run for office. Anyone who has any doubt, like, oh, they'll never vote for me, I don't have a good platform, look at who's in office now. Look at the crap that they're doing. You can do it. Dos dedos de frente, as my mom always says, that's all you need. You need a little bit of smarts, a little bit of common sense. You could get a good team together. Do it. Please, for the love of God, run for office 2024. Number 3, now we're getting into the slightly sappy stuff. Be kind to yourself. I was on Instagram scrolling and I saw this video from actor Wentworth Miller, and it really struck a chord with me. This idea that we don't treat ourselves well. And he puts it beautifully. If I were to talk to my friends the way I talk to myself, I wouldn't have any friends. And if you're a good friend, like I know you are, you're always probably telling your friends how great they look. You're hyping them up. If they're like, oh, I can't do this, and you're like, no, yes, you can. You're awesome. You're amazing. You're wonderful. You're terrific. You're fantastic. You're doing all that for your friends. But when it comes to you, you don't do that. You don't do that ever. And I know because I don't do that for me either. And it's so funny because I always complain. A big reason why I was away from this channel for a long time is like, no one watches it. No one cares. Who cares what I have to say? No one believes in this channel. And no one believes in this channel because the number one person who should believe in this channel, me, didn't believe in it. So this is going to be part of my Delulu 2024, and my kindness to myself is to believe in this channel, believe that what I'm doing and putting out and all the research and hours and things I write and things I look up and information I want to impart to you guys who are so kind to watch this channel is worth it, is worth putting out there, is worth informing people, is worth the time and effort I put into this. I feel like I have to qualify this. Not to toot my own horn, but I am smart and I know I have something to offer, and I should stop being so negative about myself, about this channel, about everything. I think like once that negativity goes away and we hype ourselves up, there's literally nothing that could get in our way. And I think this is another thing that like successful people do, where they always believe in themselves. Even though their ideas are probably dumb, even though you're sitting there and listening to it and you're just like, well, I have a million more ideas that are better, but you don't have the guts to do it because you don't have faith in yourself. If you're kinder to yourself and you hype yourself up, believe me, it's going to make the biggest difference ever. I was reluctant to come back to this channel, but if I really want this to be successful, if I really want this to be a thing, I have to have faith in it more than anyone. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going to have faith in this. I'm going to be kinder to myself. Every time I write something or research something, I have literally like 4 things written on my phone ready to record, but in my mind I'm still like, well, no one wants to hear it. No one cares. Why are you even doing it? No, I'm going to do it, and you guys are going to care. This is gonna be important. We're gonna be kinder to ourselves and hype ourselves up because you are awesome. Me, I will get there. So much negativity that needs to go, but we'll get there together. Next up, I think this goes along with the one I just talked about with like the mental health thing, the like not being so negative about yourself thing, is to reach out to a family member or a friend that you haven't reached out to in a long time. And I know this sounds scary and weird. And if you're like me, you constantly have this idea, well, like no one wants to hear about me. I have nothing special. I have nothing interesting or fun or cool to add, so who wants to hear from me? But every once in a while, when like I'll have a friend that I knew in high school reach out and they're like, oh my god, you're so awesome. Or now on Instagram, for instance, I have friends who I only know through Instagram. We're not friends IRL, and we talk about things that you wouldn't talk about with like your family or your friends that you know in real life maybe. And I think we need like a safe space like that where you need a friend who you could talk to about anything. They won't judge you. They'll probably help you out, and they'll be one of the ones who are eager to hype you up. One of my friends who I only know through Instagrams me like her video journals of the day every once in a while, and she'll tell me and she'll work out what's happening in her mind to me through video form. And she has told me that this has been very helpful for her this past year. And I'm like, I imagine so, because sometimes you just need that listening board. Sometimes you need someone to agree with you, or to diplomatically tell you, I think you're wrong and this is why. Or I think you're on the right track, but you need to do this. You need to make healthier choices for yourself. You need to stop giving trash people your time and energy. And sometimes you need a friend to do that. If you're lucky and you have like a family member that you could do that with, do that. But I encourage you to reach out. Or if you're like my many friends on Instagram who just reach out to a total stranger and they looked out that I am there and I am willing to listen and I will not judge. I will hype up and I know how to say things diplomatically. That is a big help. That was a huge help for me this past year. The negativity and the sadness was like at an all-time high this year, and it was really helpful to have a couple of friends on there who you could just tell that stuff to, who will be like, it'll get better. Don't worry about it. Here's a whole bunch of memes to make you laugh and to make you forget about your problems for a little bit. Or who will go along with this Delulu 2024 and be like, don't be sad. There's some really hot person out there for you who is just waiting. Or you need to travel, you need to clear your head. Whatever it may be, please reach out to a friend. This is part of our mental health that we desperately need. And sometimes you just need a good friend. That's all you need in this life. I encourage you to reach out to somebody. And if you manage to find me on Instagram, reach out to me. I am more than happy to listen to you guys' stories, to your problems. If I have any advice, I'll give it. No problemo. And my last thing, which is also super cheesy and Pollyanna, kindness overall. It's very easy to be nice and kind to people you know and love. Easiest thing in the world. It's a lot less easy to be kind to the people that you encounter in your life. But you being kind not only is good for the other person, it's also good for you. And the whole adage that you catch more flies with honey than with vinegar is actually true. This is like a little life hack I have found in my life, that if you are kind, if you are patient, if you are nice, you will get further in life than at any other time. So anytime there's a problem, like I always have a problem when I go to the pharmacy, but instead of yelling at the poor people who are working there, I'm just like, no problem, you work it out. We'll get through this together. And they are more willing to work with you and solve your problem when you're nice than when you're yelling at them. You're also most likely to yell at some poor person working a minimum wage job. Like, why are you gonna yell at this poor person working at a Jack in the Box, working at a Taco Bell because they got your order wrong, when you could kindly be like, oh, I'm sorry, this is what I ordered and this is what I got. They are more likely to not spit in your food and make your order right for you because you were kind to them and treated them like a person. Also, this this poor person is working minimum wage at a crap job. Why are you yelling at them? It was so funny. During the holidays, I ordered a pizza from Domino's Pizza and I went to pick it up and they took a little bit longer than what they told me it was gonna be. And the girl was like over apologizing. I'm like, there's no problem. I am not gonna yell at you because you're 5 minutes behind because you guys are getting a lot of orders because it's a Friday night. There's no way I'm gonna yell at you. Poor person who is working minimum wage and has to deal with jerks who feel the need to yell at this poor person working minimum wage tossing pizzas. There's no need for that. Just be kinder and nicer to people. And it is a domino effect. You're kind to someone, they're kind to someone else, and that person is kind to another person. You're gonna make the world nicer and better. And when you go to places you've been kind to, if you're a regular there, they will be nice to you and they'll always be like, hey, what's up? And that kindness comes back to you. That's what I'm saying. All the stuff that you put out there really does come back to you. And if you're nice to people, they will be nice to you. And your day will be a little better. At this point in our lives, I think we could agree that our days being a little better is a big win. Huge win. I love it. Those are my 5 New Year's resolutions. Like I said before, if you have any resolutions you want to add to this list, leave them in the comment section down below. And we're going to change it up on the channel a little bit. Usually I'll watch a movie and do a big, huge, long video about it. I already have like one huge, long video ready because I watched the telenovela Ruby and I have a lot of thoughts about it. And that will be up soon. But we have other ones that have nothing to do with what I'm watching. We do have some that are like an episode of this show or an episode of that show, not the entire thing. So we're going to change it up. As always, if there are any requests on any topics that you want me to cover, I will gladly cover them. I will try and put out more videos this year. And like I said, positivity. We're going to get this channel moving, running. We're going to make it happen, baby. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your year. If you're here with us, thank you. And if not, come back in the future and see what we're doing. We might surprise you. And as always, salud, mi familia. I'm excited for Delulu 2024. This is gonna be the best year ever. And I hope I'm not jinxing myself or mushing myself, but this is gonna be a fabulous year.